Burden of dreams, burden of dreams. Sometimes when you make a movie, you have to go through hell to make the movie. So maybe you shouldn't fucking do it. Unless you're Werner Herzog or whatever. Anyway, hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here. Number 287 at last. Les Blanc with Maureen Gosling's Burden of Dreams. What a trip. 1980, what was it? 1982, 94 minutes, color, English, German, Spanish, I think, all kinds of languages. So yeah, not a pretty interesting documentary. It is a documentary. It's basically, this is a making of documentary about Werner Herzog's Fitzcarraldo, which is a movie that he had been working on for a few years back in the early 80s, late 70s. I think it said he started in 1979, and he worked on it for 3 years or so, I believe. Or maybe it was just, I think it was right around 80, 81. And yeah, so he basically, it's just this movie about him making this movie and all the hell he had to go through to make it. There's a lot of hardships that Herzog went through, like trouble with the natives. He was, because he was filming in South Africa, and there's just casting, and that's the thing that I wanted to mention. I'm gonna be a music nerd for a minute here. The movie is about this guy. I mean, as far as I can remember, Fitzcarraldo is this guy who wants to tow this ship up a hill or something. I'm not sure, but anyway, he had shot. Herzog started the shooting, I think, in 80, 81, and he originally had casted a guy named Jason Robalis, I think, as the guy playing Fitzcarraldo, and he had a sidekick whose name I don't know, but he's played by Mick Jagger. And during the shortly after they started shooting, Jason Robards, I think it's Jason Robards, ended up coming down with dysentery. And so he was sent back, and the doctors wouldn't let him back on the set, so he had to be recast. And then Mick Jagger pulled out because, according to the documentary, according to Burden of Dreams, they say he had to promote, it was because commitment with the Rolling Stones to promote a new album and a new tour. And then they show the cover to Tattoo You, and in my head, I'm thinking, wait, why would he need to be pulled back to promote Tattoo You? For those of you who know, Tattoo You was just an album of outtakes. Obviously, it did well with hits like "Start Me Up" and "Burden of Dreams," but it was just I don't know. I mean, I don't know if maybe it was just I can't remember. I think it was they really need him to make the album? Because it's they just, he and Keith could have, talked and said, hey, put this song. You remember how this song goes, we play this song before this one and all that. I mean, I guess they had to make music videos and all that. And touring, I can understand. Obviously, when the album was a hit, they had to have a tour for it, even though the songs are 5 years plus old, So but that was the first. Most of the the non-bootlegging audiences would hear those songs. So it was just funny, to that they kind of were. The way they phrased it, it's just kind of. Seeing Tattoo You, I knew that came out in 81, so that definitely helped me put the framing in a little bit of perspective, because the sleeve that I got didn't have any of the information, so I was reading it off of Criterion's page at the beginning of the review, and so I was like, okay, so this is early 80s. I wasn't sure what year this movie was made. I wasn't even looking into that. So yeah, so that was just kind of funny, and it just kind of said, well, I was a bit of a music nerd, and I was like, well, guys, you could have just said he had to promote he had to go tour with the Stones. You just had to say that, promote a new album. And I was like, it's kind of not really a new album, But anyway, so yeah, but all nerdism aside, so they had to recast the film There were fights, there were just there were struggles with the ships. They had to build. He had to build like 3 separate ships to shoot all these different intricate scenes. The star who played Fitzcarraldo, Klaus Kinsey, was apparently very, very difficult to work with, and we'll talk about him later later on. But he, so he was difficult to work with, and but Herzog kept moving on, kept working on this movie, and that's basically all it is. And in the end, he got it finished. But I think even he, I don't know. He says in one of the interviews that Burden of Dreams, still even Burden of Dreams can't capture what he experienced in making a Fitzcarraldo, but it is the next best thing, or something like that. So yeah, it's a nice little testament. Les Blank captures so much, side stuff, so much side stuff, so much, stuff integral to the movie and something not integral to the movie. And it's just one of the most crucial documentaries for some. I think, I definitely recommend it for somebody who wants to make a movie, and a huge movie like Fitzcarraldo. So yeah, that's basically all I can say. And I'm thinking about the fact that two spine numbers from now we had Hoop Dreams, and now that I've seen that one before, it's like we have a couple of documentaries coming up, and I think isn't even wait a minute, now I'm curious, isn't F for Fake a documentary as well? I'm curious now. Not really. Sort of a documentary, yeah. So maybe Criterion had a documentary fixed at the time, back in 2005. So. But anyway, yeah. So Burden of Dreams, Herzog's one crafty motherfucker. Blank's pretty cool, and yeah. So give it an A. Good documentary, and yeah, that's all I can really say about it. It's not much to say. Definitely want to see Fitzcarraldo now. I want to see what that's all about. It kind of makes me sad. I was looking up on the list, and there aren't any Herzog movies in the Criterion Collection, and it makes me wonder what's going on. I'm sure Herzog probably does not want his movies, or can't strike a deal with Criterion. He probably has a very high price for his movies. I don't know, but that's probably because he's still with us. He's like 74, I think, right now. Or he's turning 75 this year. So yeah, that's maybe he doesn't like Criterion as much as, I don't know, he must, because he did new documentaries for them or new interviews for them. So yeah, that's all I can say about it. So maybe someday, hopefully soon, we'll see a Herzog movie, because he seems like a pretty cool director. Maybe we'll see Fitzcarraldo, which would be cool, which would set up for a dual release, which would be cool for a dual release with Burden of Dreams as a bonus disc or on the Blu-ray or something like that, So anyway, Burden of Dreams, a great movie. Supplements. There is a 20-minute supplement. There's a 20-minute documentary called Werner Herzog Eats His Shoe, and it was actually the first time Herzog and Blank worked together. Apparently, there was a documentary that in the late 70s by Errol Morris called Gates of Heaven, which actually is in the Criterion Collection, number 751, I believe. So we'll get to that one later. But Gates of Heaven is about pet cemetery business or something like that. And Herzog made a bet with Morris that if he ever finished the movie or got distribution for it, he would eat his shoe. And so Morris finished the movie, got it out there, and Herzog went through with his bet. And so the film is a 20-minute short feature shows Herzog cooking his shoe, literally cooking his shoe, putting onions in it, and just cooking it and talking about how to make it taste good, and showing him actually eating the shoe, and on stage and in a restaurant and all that. And so it's just, and he has some commentary about television, how it's dumbing down audiences, how he doesn't like westerns and things like that. And yeah, so it's a nice little feature, and I guess through Blank's working with him on this this short little project. It won, hey, can I follow you to South America, and watch you make a documentary and make a movie that you may not finish? And he's like, sure, yeah, come on over. We'll make a whole documentary of it. And so that's how Burden of Dreams kind of got started through Werner Herzog Eats issue. So it's worth it for that. It's a kind of a humorous little look at Herzog, and he's in definitely better spirits than what he would be taking on in Fitzcarraldo. And then what else? There's a new interview with Herzog called Dreams of Burden or something like that. Dreams and Burdens. It's just Tim looking back on Fitzcarraldo and Burden of Dreams and Les Blanc and all that. And there's some deleted scenes, which one of them, and that's where we were talking about, what was his name? Klaus Kinski. There's two scenes with Klaus Kinski that were deleted from, shot by Les Blanc. Klaus Kinski got into a shouting match with somebody on the set and just threatened to kill him and all that, and there was going to be a fight was going to be broken out, and just Klaus Kinski just yelling and all that, and Les Blanc caught it on film. And then there's another scene with Klaus Kinski, like a bunch of butterflies, messing around with some butterflies. And the scenes were deleted from Burden of Dreams. However, Herzog got permission from Les Blanc to use them in a documentary he was doing about Klaus Kinski called My Best Fiend. And so the scenes were in that movie, and Criterion got the rights to use them in this little thing and all that. So it also makes me interested, kind of want to see My Best Fiend, and wish that existed as well. So maybe someday we'll get some Herzog in the Criterion collection. Maybe someday. And then there's a trailer, and that's the size of it. And then there's some stills. Maureen Gosling took a lot of photos and did the editing for Burden of Dreams. So that was her contribution to the film, the documentary. And that's about it. And I should have showed you the book. There was the book that came with it. There was a book that has like an 80-page excerpts from Blanc and Gosling's production diary. And if I had it here, and I do not have it, no, left it in the other room. So maybe it's okay. I was gonna maybe read an excerpt from it just for fun. But anyway, so that's basically it. Burden of Dreams. Watch this if you're thinking about making an edit, because you may either think twice. This will either make you think twice, or either make you want to do it more. So that's it for me today. Probably, if I do another one, it might just be a element of crime. Here we go again. Lars von Trier, Azusa Pacific, sending me just the disc as always, because they're the only ones who let me have this damn movie. So yeah, we'll probably try and do that one. And as far as more than likely, they still have not sent me. And as I type this, I'm gonna check my library account, because they still have not sent me the Blu-ray to Branded to Kill. And our copy of Branded to Kill is at my old library, but I have to go down there and get it. I don't know when I'm going to go, if I'm going to go. So more than likely, we're going to have to pass. We're just going to pass on re-reviewing Branded to Kill or Tokyo Drifter. Or if we finish the season before, or maybe I'll do it as a special thing this summer. We'll come back. Although I don't want to. I do not want to come back. Oh, Qui-Gon's in. Oh, but Qui-Gon's in too. Yeah, Qui-Gon is in. So we may, so that will happen sometime this weekend probably. Or, maybe later today, if I go into work today. I started at my new branch, so, yeah, and nope, wait a minute, did they send it? Wait a minute, I'm looking. Nope, still didn't send it. I give up. I think I've basically given up, because I think Tokyo Drifter's due tomorrow. So if for some reason they don't get it, then I'm just gonna say forget it, because it's not worth it. And yeah, so So the only other two re-reviews we'll watch are Element of Crime and Quite On. Quite On is there. Hopefully it's the dual disc version. I'm hoping it's the new version. There's no way for me to check right now. Or actually, let me take a look at the catalog here. Maybe they show the cover. Yeah. Okay. So it says it's the new version. So that's great. So that we'll definitely get to that one later probably this weekend, maybe Sunday. And yeah, so outside of that, so the plan is probably maybe later tonight we'll do Element of Crime. If not, definitely Sunday. And then it means we'll do Quite On probably Monday. Then Heaven Can Wait. Heaven Can Wait. We've got I got the yesterday I got the Browning version. Browning version is here. And then I put a hold on Le Notte Bianche, which White Nights, which is the only other, the other one that I don't have. No, I still need Story of a Prostitute and Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. And I really need to start thinking about calling Josh and Caitlin, my brother and sister-in-law, who you've seen in the Fear and Loathing Las Vegas review, because they were really interested in doing the review with me in Life Aquatic, and we were going to do it. We're probably going to try and figure out how to do it through Google Hangouts. And I just need to get in touch with them to figure out what day works for them, because they need to watch the movie. They have the Criterion Collection movie on their end, so they just need to rewatch it and come up with some things to say and all that. So yeah, that will probably be. I'm hoping. In a perfect world, it'd probably be at the end of March or first 2 weeks of April. We'll have that done, and then we'll have the whole season done, and then we'll just be doing the review showdown, and then it's done. And then we're done, and then that's it. And then see you in September for Angel at My Table and all that stuff. So. And so anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Watch the skies, because it may screw up you pulling a boat up a hill. I don't know. And if you're Mick Jagger, just watch when you make a movie, because you might have to go back to that band that you're still in, that you've been in for over 40, 50 years now. It's been over 50 years since the Stones started. That's crazy. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow. We will see you either later tonight or Sunday for the Element of Crime. Oh boy. Anyway, until then, goodbye.